Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. The second video of the day. I promised you two things this morning. First of all, fresh look, and I did it. Secondly, that I would be back with a second video because I wanted to speak about the man behind me, the player behind me, Manu Locatelli. A video especially about Manu Locatelli. Then, the day went, a lot of news came. It's hot. It's crazy. It's totally mercato is crazy. No, but seriously, yeah. And we need to add two more players. First, I want to speak about this guy, Adrien Rabiot, because I have an update and it is a news that is really annoying me. Not the one that you think, but it's really an extremely annoying thing that I was reading this morning, one. And then a third player that unfortunately I can't add in the wall. Why? Because I don't have his shirt. But maybe in a few weeks, we can buy it online on the Juve store and we can add it with the number 19. We are speaking about Khephren Thuram. So 3 names in a video that I will try to be compact. But I have a question about Locatelli and that you will need to help me to answer. It's not because you already did it this morning, putting a maximum of like and subscribing, that you can't do it again. Well, if you subscribe, leave it like that. Because if you click another time, you will unsubscribe. And that's absolutely not the objective. So subscribe, maximum of like, let me know, answer the question that I will ask you towards the video. Because now we start with the short news. Adrien Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot. Mirror. Adrien Rabiot. Well, this morning I opened Twitter after the video that I posted. And what do I start to see? Adrien Rabiot's house has been robbed and they took from his house 100,000 euro cash. First reaction I have, poor Adrien. Human side, thinking about the person before the player. Because for people that are saying, yeah, but he's rich, who cares, it's only 100,000 euro. Guys, I don't know if you already experienced a robbery at home. Hopefully not. Hopefully it will never happen. But it's something that mentally, psychologically is really leaving scars. Really something annoying. And that's the first idea I had. Then I was about to report it in the Telegram group, but what do I start to read in the comments from people? Hey, it's his own mistake, own fault. Who on earth is leaving 100,000 euro cash at home? Before reporting, I say, okay, who's the source? Because I need always to check. That's what I always do when I do videos. That doesn't mean that 100% of the info is right, but at least I try to do investigation on the news that I report. That's why sometimes it takes me a bit longer. Anyway, I go, who is the source? Le Parisien, French paper. I click on it. Hopefully, you don't need a subscription to need the article. It's for free. You open in big letters, in huge, 10,000 euro in worth of goods has been robbed. So from 100,000, what has been reported, it goes to 10,000 euro goods. That's a world of difference. Second, it's not the home of Adrien Rabiot. It's the home of the mother of Adrien Rabiot in Paris. Guys. Why am I speaking about that? Because still it's a robbery and still it's annoying. But why am I speaking about that? Before going and insulting players, because you just read a report, be sure about what you are talking about. And no, because we can see, we hate a player, we love a player, and then we go with our gut feeling without checking sources. So always check sources, extremely important. And that's why I try to do here on the channel. So if you appreciate it, please put a maximum of like. We go to the other name before Locatelli, because on Locatelli I want to take a bit of my time. Khephren Thuram. Boom, boom, bada boom, bada boom. What do we read? Juventus have opened talks with OGC Nice to discuss Khephren Thuram. I love that. Especially when there is the source that we check and it is Romeo Agresti. This morning we already made a video about Khephren Thuram. We already spoke about him and I didn't think that I would make a second video about Khephren Thuram. But if we read that Romeo Agresti is writing, Juventus now opened talks, which means that we are really serious on the case. Now, opening talks doesn't mean the player will come, it's 100% guarantee. No, but what do we know? That there is a kind of they already open talks with the player, with the agent, with the entourage, maybe with Papa Lilian. And they already found green light. It's okay. We are interested. Maybe they already spoke about the salary or not. But you know it, in these cases, you have the player, you have the club that is interested in, and you also have the club that is selling. So now you need to knock at the door of Nice. If you have already an opening from Khephren Thuram and entourage, you're stronger, of course. If you know all the details that Khephren Thuram has only 1 year of contract left, you know that you are really strong. This morning we were speaking about between 15 and 20 million euro request of Nice. Well, we already start having more information. What does that mean? That already probably the first talks between Giuntoli and the one that are representing Nice, they already happened. maybe through the phone, like we are interested, maybe a first request of Nice. That first request for the player that is born in 2001, because he's 23 years old, is of 25 million euros. So it's more than we were speaking about this morning. Of course, it's an initial request. Then that initial request, when you're talking, when you're sitting at the table, especially La Riviera, the Nice, magnifique, beautiful, fantastic. If you have the opportunity to go there, go there. Did I go there? No, but I watched YouTube, and it's really beautiful, and hopefully one day I can go to Nice. Fantastic. But anyway, if you go there on terrace and you speak, probably 2-3 million, you can take them away. Here you add a bit of this, a bit of that, and probably you can go towards that 20 million euro. Then on top of that, if you can start thinking about players to put into the deal, you can really lower that. But the big news, of course, Khephren Thuram, not only there is a green line from the player side, but also now from the club that is saying, okay, we are open to talk. We know that he will leave. Let's get things serious. What Giuntoli really has in mind. And I love these kind of news. I really love them because it can go really fast for Khephren Thuram. It can be extremely fast, at least. Paperwork, medicals, but then we will need to wait. Why? Because if we know that Douglas Luiz is with Brazil in USA and we'll have to wait after the Copa America, after his holiday to see him in La Continassa, well, Khephren Thuram, probably people do not know, he will go with La France to the Olympic Games. So also for him, the team of Thierry Henry, by the way, so also for him, if we are able to sign him, it will take longer than all the other ones to see him at Juventus, which means that two of our pillars of 24-25, if we are able to close both deals, they will not be there for the start of the season, and that's an important one. Who is annoyed by that news? You know who is annoyed by Khephren Thuram's news? Inter. You know why? Because Inter, they were thinking first to take him for free. That's the strategy of Marotta. 25-26, already putting an option on Khephren Thuram, let him come with his brother. And if they are selling Çalhanoğlu, because they will, and not for 70 million euro, what you are hearing, probably much lower. If they are selling Çalhanoğlu, could be to Bayern Munich, well, they need reinforcement, and they were thinking already about Khephren Thuram. Pay attention also to the name of Rabiot, because that's also that zero operation. Juventus that is going on Thuram, Inter feels with Marotta, they don't feel really appreciated, they wanted to go, so they go on revenge on Rabiot. Pay attention to that, but that's another story for other days. But they are a bit annoyed. So let's see what will happen there. Now I want to enter the Locatelli talk, because this morning I told you pay attention for the name of Locatelli. Locatelli, just to make it really clear, he is not on the market, and that needs to be really said. There are a few players that are not on the market. Kenan Yildiz, Locatelli, Bremer, etc., etc. But not a lot, really not a lot. Maybe you have 5, 6 maximum of players that are not on the market. All the other ones, if there is an offer, they can leave. Fagioli, for example, is a player that stays. Untouchable Fagioli for next season. Locatelli is untouchable, of course. Of course, there is a new situation for Locatelli. Locatelli played with us a bit less than 140 games. If I'm not wrong, 134 or 138. I was reading it earlier. I forgot. Scored 4 goals. In how many seasons? 3 seasons. Locatelli that today we can say he didn't respect the expectations that we had 3 seasons ago when we signed him. Then you have that big debate. The people that said it is because of Allegri, because he destroyed him. You know what, these harsh words. He destroyed him, he asked him to do a role and it was not his role. And then you have the ones that are saying it is because of Locatelli, because Locatelli is not it's not at the level of Juventus. I don't want to enter that debate. You know what I think about Locatelli, you know what I think about Allegri, you know what I think about the situation that we were in. The only thing that I want to add is that Locatelli is a fantastic person. A Juventino, is that enough to play for Juve? Absolutely not. Otherwise, I will play for Juve. You that is watching at home, you will probably also be a Juve player, because we are Juventini and we are good guys. Or at least I hope that we are all good guys. I am a good guy. That's not enough to play at Juve. You need much more. But the Locatelli from Sassuolo is a talented guy. He's a fantastic guy. Qualities that we didn't see enough at Juve. It's a player that was able to score 4 goals, 5 goals a season. Well, he comes at Juve 3 seasons, 4 goals. It's not enough. Of course, you can't judge only Locatelli by goals. What is the really good skill? The human side of Locatelli, but also the fact that he's that much of a Juventino that in difficulties, because the 3 seasons of Max Allegri were difficult, well, he thought first about the team before himself, thinking to sacrifice himself to help that defensive phase that Max Allegri was pointing on, instead of thinking about himself. And these 3 seasons of doing it, well, he lost a lot of confidence, he lost what were his biggest skills, and we have a Locatelli today that after 3 seasons, we are all doubting about. We are all saying, because of Allegri, because of him, whatever. We are all at the same conclusion. The 3 seasons of Locatelli were not what we were expecting. Now, should we keep Loca or not? You'll tell me, Beppe, you just told us that he's untouchable. Yes, it's true. Unless that he's asking for it. Unless that there is a mega offer for it. Are there offers for Loca? Well, yes, there is one. A big one. From Marseille. Because you know it, the new coach of Marseille is De Zerbi. He will work again with Rossi. They worked both together when they were at Sassuolo. And who was their player? Locatelli. Locatelli that Brighton was asking for when De Zerbi was there. Locatelli is a shoo-shoo. He's a baby. He's a kid. You know, it's like a son of De Zerbi. And he would love to have him back at Marseille. At the moment, the intention of Locatelli is not to leave Juve. But he knows that if in the last 3 seasons he was an undubious starter at Juve, that will not be anymore that position. We are speaking about Khephren Thuram, we are speaking about Douglas Luiz, we are speaking maybe about the Cope Manners, or this morning I even told you other Dutch number 10s that could possibly join Juve. He knows that he's not a starter at Juve anymore. Thiago Motta, he has an idea. For me, in that big rotation, because he's changing game in, game out, during the game he's changing a lot, Locatelli is central. As a rotational player in that 3-man midfield, that will play that 4-3-3 or that will play that 4-2-3-1, he will have playing time. But of course, at the moment, he's not a starter, especially if we are looking at how Giuntoli is moving. So my big question is, what do we do with Locatelli? Do we trust him? Do we try to sell him? Do we give him 1 more year? If you want my opinion, personally, I would give him. Why? Because you have a Locatelli that, you know, that thing that sometimes you arrive in the perfect place, but in the wrong moment. You know it? Arriving at when everything should be perfect, but it's not perfect. So it's the perfect place, but not the right moment. That is, according to me, what happened to Locatelli. And I believe that Locatelli deserves a chance, because you have a new management, you have a new coach, you have a new way of playing. We were going for a Locatelli that was playing a 4-2-3-1 at Sassuolo, or a 4-2 whatever. And now we are going towards that 4-2-3-1. And if we play a 4-3-3, we are going with a Locatelli that will be played as a mezzala, not anymore as a regista. In that 4-2-3-1, he's playing as the double pivot, what he was playing for or at when he was at Sassuolo. So I would love to keep a Locatelli 1 more year to really understand. And I believe that he's that smart person that he will understand himself. If he fails again, he will probably ask to leave and to go in another club. Let's see. I'm really curious. That was my takes on Locatelli. Locatelli out of the market today. Could be if he asks for, if he's not feeling confident enough that he can give. But he needs to understand as well that at the moment he's not a starter of that Juventus. And if he wants to become a starter again, well, he will have a lot of work to do to prove to all of us, but also to himself. Adapting again and going back to the one of Sassuolo, but even better, because we wanted the Sassuolo plus player, not exactly the one of Sassuolo. Can he do it with Thiago Motta? Yes or no? It will be a big, huge challenge for Locatelli. So let me know about the Rabiot and the fake news that you are reading online. Let me know about Khephren Thuram, if you are happy or not. And let me know about Locatelli. That was it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. And now, Forza Italia. Grazie, Forza Juve.